Welcome to the second episode of this brand new series, American West Live. Every other week, we'll share a 10-minute slice of some of the best stories about how the American West came to be, and California grew to become the fourth largest economy in the world. It all began in the mid-1800s, following an immigrant migration that began as a trickle, then became a massive movement fueled by desire for land, economic opportunities, and escaping hardships. This week, we analyze the leadership of and key factors contributing to the success of the Stephens-Townsend-Murphy Party's 1844 crossing of the Sierra Nevada in Episode 2. We hope you enjoy.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. This is where we take your curiosity, dig into the sources you send us, and basically try to get you up to speed fast.
Make you the expert, quick.
Exactly. We're diving into the Stephens-Townsend-Murphy Party, 1844. The very first wagons to actually cross the Sierra Nevada mountains.
Think about that, covered wagons, those mountains. It's mind-boggling, even now.
It really is. And our mission today isn't just to, list facts. We want to understand how. How did they pull off this incredible feat?
And it really seems to boil down to one key thing, leadership. But not just one leader.
No, that's the fascinating part. It was collective leadership. Diverse leaders, actually.
Yeah.
We're going to unpack the roles of 6 really crucial people.
6 individuals whose specific skills somehow just click together perfectly.
Yeah. This isn't just history. It's like a case study in teamwork against insane odds. How different talents, different viewpoints can let you do what seems impossible.
It really is, because you look at the physical stuff, the terrain, the weather, just the sheer distance, and that's tough enough.
Oh, absolutely.
But the real story, the deeper story, is how these specific people with their, very different abilities manage to mesh. Each person brought something unique, something essential that nobody else had. It was like fitting puzzle pieces together for survival.
Okay, let's start with Elisha Stephens. He was elected captain. And when you look at his background, you can see why.
Right. A mountain man, a blacksmith. He'd been out on the frontier.
Yeah, serious experience. And his style, they say pragmatic, but also just unyielding, rock solid.
That practical side comes through, doesn't it? Like with those record rains early on, huge floods.
Yeah, I read about that.
Instead of just pushing through stubbornly, he used his experience from trapping up in the Pacific Northwest, and he rerouted them. He adapted.
That flexibility. Being willing to change the plan based on what's actually happening, that's huge.
It's vital. And think about that big decision at Fort Hall, choosing the southern route, the California Trail, which was mostly untested then.
Risky, no?
Very. But he listened to his guides, Caleb Greenwood and Isaac Hitchcock. He trusted their expertise. That's leadership, too, knowing who to listen to.
Definitely. And then, when they hit the Sierras, winter's coming, snow's a real threat. This is where his organizing skills seem just crucial.
Absolutely critical. Getting those wagons dismantled, using the oxen to haul everything up and over Donner Pass.
Same Donner Pass. It's chilling to think about.
It is. And the sheer logistics of that.
Right.
Coordinating everyone, keeping morale up in blizzards.
And they did it. No lives lost during that crossing. That just speaks volumes, right?
It really does. There's that quote, "We had great confidence in our leader." Simple, but powerful.
So what do you think built that confidence?
I think experience was part of it, sure. Gave people reassurance, but also probably his calm demeanor, making good calls under pressure, being clear about what needed doing.
Yeah, earned respect, not just authority given.
Exactly. Okay, so then there's Dr. John Townsend. He had this dual role, the party's doctor and also their recording secretary.
Both pretty essential, I imagine. The medical side, obviously injuries happen, people get sick, and they even had childbirths on the trail.
Right. Ellen Independence Miller, born at Independence Rock. What a story.
Incredible symbol, isn't it? Life carrying on despite everything.
Mm-hmm. But don't underestimate that secretary role, even though the diary was apparently lost later.
Yeah, shame about that.
It is. But the act of recording things, writing down decisions, that promotes a kind of collective accountability, order.
Right, it shows an intention. And they describe him as a vision-seeking grand adventure. So he wasn't just thinking about getting through the day.
No, he was looking ahead. And you see that after the journey, too. He becomes California's first licensed physician up in Sacramento. Shows that adaptability again.
Now, Martin Murphy Sr., this guy was leading a huge group, 23 family members.
Just imagine the logistics of that alone.
Seriously. And his motivation was different, too, right? Seeking religious freedom, coming from Irish Catholic roots. Adds another layer to why people made these journeys.
It does. And leading family, that takes a special mix of, being the patriarch, but also a really sharp manager.
They talk about his managerial grit, especially later in the Sierras when food was running low.
That's a tough spot for any leader. He enforced rationing, but made sure the kids and pregnant women were prioritized. That takes real toughness, real foresight.
And like Townsend, his story doesn't end at the trail's end. He buys this huge ranch, 9,000 acres.
Became a major hub, apparently. Really helped shape the Santa Clara Valley.
And got involved politically, too, joining Sutter's forces. So they jumped right into building this new society.
They really integrated quickly. So you see Stephens providing that sort of steady hand on the tiller.
Right.
Then Townsend adding medical care and that element of order through record keeping. And Murphy managing this huge family group, this core unit within the larger party. It's starting to paint a picture, isn't it?
Yeah, you see how the different pieces were all needed. Okay, who's next? Caleb Greenwood.
Ah, Greenwood. The grizzled guide, as they say. 81 years old on this trip.
81. That's incredible. A veteran of the Astor and Lisa expeditions. This guy knew the West.
Understatement, yeah. His trapper instincts were probably second to none. Mapping routes, pushing for that Humboldt River shortcut. He understood the land in his bones.
And that collaboration with Chief Truckee down at the Humboldt Sink, finding the Truckee River route. That's fascinating. Greenwood's know-how plus Truckee's local knowledge?
Exactly. Different kinds of expertise coming together. And Greenwood, having lived with the Crow people, he had these crucial communication skills.
So not just navigating rivers, but navigating, cultural interactions, too.
Precisely. Diffusing tensions, negotiating passage, that was vital. And tragically, his value is highlighted later when he went back to try and help the Donner Party. Shows what happens when that kind of expertise isn't there.
Yeah. Okay, then Isaac Hitchcock, the tactical pathfinder.
Right. His edge was prior knowledge. He'd been on fur trading trips into California back in the 1830s.
So he kind of knew the destination terrain already?
Some of it, yes. And that paid off hugely at the Big Sandy River. He proposed a cutoff.
The one that saved them several days.
Yeah, maybe 3 to 5 days, which sounds small, but think about it. That could be the difference between crossing the Sierra before the heavy snows or not.
Like the Donner Party again. So that wasn't just reacting, it was anticipating. Using past knowledge for future planning.
Absolutely critical foresight. And Hitchcock's motivation was also partly personal, right? He joined to help protect his widowed daughter and her kids.
Right. Betsy Patterson adds to that whole feeling of community, of people looking out for each other.
It really does. And like the others, he kept contributing afterwards, helping start the Masonic Lodge in Santa Cruz, building institutions.
Okay, last but definitely not least, Chief Truckee of the Paiute people.
Absolutely.
Not part of the original group, but completely essential.
The diplomatic navigator,
Yeah.
guiding them to the Truckee River, which is named after him, of course. And it speaks to his wisdom, his willingness to engage. He apparently believed cooperation was key for his people's survival, that they needed to adapt.
That seems incredibly forward-thinking for the time.
It does. He later helped John C. Fremont, too, and showed incredible restraint, apparently, after his own son was killed in an attack by settlers, choosing not to retaliate, focusing on long-term coexistence.
Wow, that's profound leadership.
It is. And he learned Spanish, taught his own people how to navigate these new dynamics. Real bridge building.
So, okay, let's pull it all together. You have all these individuals, Stephens-Townsend, Murphy, Greenwood, Hitchcock, Truckee.
And what you see is this incredible collective success. It wasn't one hero. It was how their different strengths work together.
Right. You had the decisiveness, Stephens picking routes, Hitchcock's cutoff idea, Greenwood's navigation.
Then the organization, Townsend's records, Murphy managing food and family, Truckee pointing them to vital resources like the river.
And just sheer grit, right?
Yeah.
Getting through blizzards, having babies on the trail, crossing 2,000 miles of God knows what.
Unbelievable grit. Plus communication, negotiating with different groups, keeping records, Murphy leading his big family.
It really drives home that point.
Huh.
This diverse mix of skills, all pointed at the same goal, let them do something that must have felt completely impossible.
Totally impossible. And you still see their mark on California, the Truckee River, Donner Pass, towns like Murphy's. Their legacy is literally on the map.
Yeah. So this deep dive, it really shows that their success wasn't about one person being amazing. It was about the group. Diverse leaders, complementary skills, working together when things got incredibly tough.
That's the core takeaway. Collective strength through diversity in the face of just extreme challenges.
And for you listening, especially if you're interested in getting smart on topics quickly, this story, it offers more than just history, right?
Oh.
Understanding how they succeeded, the dynamics between these leaders. It shows how even huge obstacles can be tackled when you bring different talents together effectively.
Yeah, when people contribute their unique piece of the puzzle.
So maybe a final thought to leave you with. Think about the challenges you face. Your own uncharted territories, maybe at work or in your community or just personally.
Mm-hmm. What kinds of different skills, what kinds of diverse leadership qualities might be needed to navigate those unknowns?
What can we really learn from this 1844 journey about the power that comes from people uniting with their unique strengths? Something to think about.
Look for more American West Live deep dives every other week right here, or head over to our website at historyxp.org or YouTube channel at History Expeditions. We provide links in the show notes. From all of us at History Expeditions and the Sunnyvale Heritage Park Museum, we look forward to seeing you on the trail.